And but Mongo Pino, yeah.
Nah, that's what's up. All right, man. This is every journey, and we definitely want to talk about the latest project. You went from spinning at the block to rocking major acts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What was the first moment you felt like, oh man, yeah, it's getting real for me?
I DJ'd for my homeboy Bigfoot at a Zulu Nation anniversary party down at the Puck Building. Now we're talking the early 2000s. It was us, Little Brother. For those that don't know who Little Brother is, you know what I'm saying? They go do your research with that. Us, Wu-Tang, Sons of Man, early Fushnikins, like yeah, so that was my start, just DJing for my homie Bigfoot, and then we just started doing more shows, and more shows that morphed over to festivals and things like that. And briefly, we actually have a cameo in the movie Rhyme or Reason.
Oh shit.
Now, for you, only the hip hop heads know what that movie Rhyme or Reason is about. You know what I'm saying? That movie was about basically the early struggles of all hip hop artists from the late 90s and the early 2000s. It was all captioned on film. There's a movie called Rhyme and Reason. Go check that out. I was a part of that.
Oh wow.
Yeah, man.
Damn, yeah, my crazy. Yo, it never stops here on Cuts, yo.
Word.
Whoever we bring here on Cuts always like comes through and just either they speak of their pivotal moments or
man.
they being a part of a real like special movement within the hip hop culture. It's amazing.
Word.
Nah, real talk. What's one DJ rule you learned in the streets that the industry hasn't caught up to yet?
One DJ rule?
Yeah. You learned in the streets that the industry hasn't caught up to.
Well, I see the industry attempting to catch up to it, and it's just breaking new artists, breaking records,
right?
Playing artists that no one never heard of, giving people a shot.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I do that because R.I.P. to DJ K Slay, the Drama King. He gave me a shot, and he ain't know me from a hole in the wall.
Oh wow.
You know what I'm saying? He knew me through affiliation through MOP, of course, but he didn't know Inf. You know what I mean? And through affiliation, he gave me a shot. He used to play my songs on the radio on the Drama Hour, man. So, yo, K Slade, the only DJ, man, that really showed love like that.
Yeah,
Real.
man. I mean, yo, I've crossed paths with K Slade a couple of times. Also, too, I was able to interview him. I want to say that year was, it was just right after the pandemic. I think it was like 21.
Okay.
I want to say it was over at what's the main studio everybody goes to? Quad. Yeah, it was at Quad, and I think that was for his latest project.
Okay.
You know, before he had passed, it was a project he had dropped or whatever.
Yeah.
And I interviewed him. It was a dope interview. And I got the interview for like 3-4 minutes, but just besides having the opportunity to interview him, but just his energy alone, what he brought to the room, what he meant to the culture, you know.
Yo, K Slade was a real graffiti artist. He was a b-boy.
Right.
So that's why it exuded over like that. He really touched the pavement.
Yeah.
He really did that.
That's true. And then also too, just overall, like if you came up to him, you know what I'm saying, as long as you was like on your business and not on no BS, you know, he would chop it up with you.
I mean, he gonna give you that side eye look, like he gonna give you that look like you crazy talking to him,
Right.
but if what you saying makes sense, then, you know, the homie would just, you know, let his guard down and he'll chop it up.
Nah,
man.
definitely not.
Slay was a good dude, man.
Definitely, R.I.P. Definitely rest in peace and blessings to K Slay. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. Yo, you travel and rock different crowds. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like who's harder to impress? The Bronx crowd or the industry elites?
I'm gonna be honest. I think the industry elites are a lot more harder to impress because everyone has their nose up in the sky like they know the formula. No one knows the formula to this. The only people that know the formula to this are the crowd, your fans.
Mm-hmm.
They're the ones who dictate what's hot and what's not. We're seeing right now the industry crash from these so-called industry plants. The people don't want that. How you doing all of these numbers on social media and playlists, but you can't fill out a crowd in a club. You can't sell out tickets. So these are just signs of things like that the industry has to reshape itself. It's going back to DIY, do it yourself. You know, like, and I'm glad we're talking about that. So this project right here will probably be my last project on any streaming platform. Like after this, I'm going directly to fans, directly to consumers, you know, and that's actually the best option for any artist out there, man. Just cut the middleman out and just build a direct fan base with your fans. J. Cole is showing us the way with his latest run. He's showing us the way how to do it. This is what the industry really don't want you to know about. Yeah. But yo, everything is out there. We got all of this technology and all of that. We don't need no middleman.
Yeah,
we do it ourselves. You know.
Nah, definitely. I mean, my thing is to I don't know if you saw the latest that's been said about even with streaming. You know what I'm saying? About there was always this big like debate over the years. I want to say the last like 10 years about radios dying and streaming. And it's like, bro. Like radio is still I forgot the person's name. He had Charlamagne had posted the video on his page, right? I forgot the name of the person, but he was telling you how radio's still number one.
It always has been. Like internet streaming, this stuff is made up. It's not really real.
Right.
It's not tangible. So the radio is gonna always be relevant to all of this. So I suggest all artists, this is where it comes back to you dealing directly with your fan base. Your fans are the ones that's going to get you put on the radio, not these middlemen. And if you got to pay to play, then you lost.
Nah, real talking also too, with Ray Daniels. I don't know if you saw that.
Shouts out to Ray Daniels. That's the reason why I'm saying everything what I'm saying.
And the Boom Man debate. That was crazy. Yo,
that's what
that debate was crazy.
We needed that.
That debate was crazy. We needed that.
Listen, sometimes a lot of these promoters, man, y'all taking these people money knowing they ain't gonna pop, man. Like, that's basically what it is. This ain't for everyone. Many may come, a few are chosen. It goes back to the fans. The fans choose you. There's no middleman. No one can make you hot. The fans and your audience can. That's what you need to focus on.
Even in the follow-up, Ray Daniels, I don't know if you saw it on his page, he followed up with a video. And it was in his car, and he was expressing, he's like, yo, there's no buying into the industry. This is straight up, yo, the fans are going to like you or not.
It's real because look at the times that we're living in right now, man. Like, these are some very, very serious times what's happening. And people want something that's real, something that they can gravitate to, something they can grasp on, something they can hold on to. This is the reason why I did my album and curated it the way that it is. Rhythm of my life, all of these feelings, thoughts, and emotions that I've been going through for this past year of my life and this new stage that I'm at in my life. Being the age that I am, I feel like it's my duty to pay it forward. In real life, I'm a social worker. I work at a men's shelter.
Right.
I let my knowledge be, peace to the gods and earths out there. I let my knowledge be born every day. You know what I'm saying? I have 35 students. I teach my lessons every day and these are grown men. I have safe space groups for men because, you know, it's frowned upon where there's a thing where men got to always be, you know, masculine and tough. Yeah. At the end of the day, everyone is human. We all got feelings and emotions. And, you know, not to, you know, switch the topic or whatever, but the album dabbles into things like that because in real life, I'm a social worker.
Right.
So my job is to help the community. Like, I'm a bridge. So my music, it spills over in my music, not to be like a preacher or anything like that, but I'm just letting everything be known in what it is. And from the era that I came from, I'm only paying it forward, man. I'm adding on to the culture.
Yeah, and I want to add on to that. Like, you know, with me, I've told you many times, you know, for years, you know, I've been with DOE, I've been in education. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes with cuts, you know what I'm saying, it intertwines because at the end of the day, I want people to I want us to have the conversations that are different from your typical podcast conversations, or for that matter, real life. You know, real life, and also too to really understand where the creators are coming from, or the power makers, whoever I have here on this platform, to really understand the journey. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? For you, you know what I'm saying, commending you and big ups to you for wanting to take that journey past hip hop and really intertwine it with something real life as being a social worker for men. You know what I'm saying? But that's key. You know what I'm saying? And I feel even in today's times, I feel like within our community, with the black community, you know, this like whole thing, this stigmatization of, if men express themselves being sissies and all that. Yeah, well, guess what? If men don't express themselves, then we'll still have these issues of men with beating up on women or harming children, or for that matter, not coping with, adapting to society's nuances. You know what I'm saying?
And a lot of these guys don't have coping mechanisms. And another thing I've realized is coming from the streets, being of it, rising above it, going back to try to help lend a hand to help someone else out. A lot of times, a lot of drama, a lot of beef can actually be deterred. A lot of the times, and I've encountered these guys all of the time. I'm always in Melbrook on 138th and Cypress Avenue back there by Bruckner Boulevard. I'm all through them streets, and the one common thing I notice is that, a lot of these guys are hungry, literally. No, literally, they haven't eaten. They're hungry. They're frustrated. Mm-hmm. They're upset because life isn't going their way. A lot of it, no education, no coping skills. And this isn't to throw shade at individuals. These are just common things that I see that will spiral into a common effect of what we see every day in the hood, which is negativity. And a lot of this stuff could be stopped if people just took the time out and just had a conversation with someone. Like, I'm gonna tell you something. One morning I was going to work, Reemo. Yeah. I'm in the bodega, this young kid, and I could feel the aggression off of him. I could feel that he wanted smoke, and I could tell he had that thing on him. Like, I felt it. So I kind of bumped into him by accident, and he gave me so much aggression. Yeah. Now, I'm saying to myself, I have a son to go home to. You know what I'm saying? I got family and things of that nature. You know what I said to this young man to break the ice? I looked at him, and I could tell that he was hurting inside. I'm like, yo, my man, are you hungry? You want something to eat? And after 5 minutes of cursing, the nigga, he looked at me and was like, yeah. Yo, I bought him a bacon, egg, and cheese with an orange juice. Yeah. And I bought him 2 Lucy cigarettes. The nigga gave me a pound and hugged me. Yeah. And was like, yo, thank you for just talking to me. Yeah. Because he told me, he was like, yo, I had that thing on. I said, yo, my man, I felt it. I'm a social worker. If it could be diffused, let's diffuse it. I got a family to go home to. You still young. You got a whole life. You ain't got nothing to lose. I had something to lose. And at that moment, my pride got the best of me. And I offered him that, and I calmed the situation down. Yo, just think how many times that could save someone's life out here. But it takes for a certain amount of responsibility and patience to deal with that. Yes. And being that I'm a social worker, I know how to deal with these dudes. He was hungry and frustrated. That's all it was. Yeah. And I know, you know how it is when you hungry. I know how y'all know how it is when y'all hungry. Yeah, word. So we all human at the end of the day. So I always try to have that human component when I deal with people, when I do my music and things of that nature. I always try to play it forward, man. 432, those are the megahertz that I'm on. Good energy. Always. Always.
Yeah, man. Listen, man. You speaking to the choir. Like, I ain't gonna lie, with the youth that I deal with on a daily basis, for the last 14 years, you know what I'm saying? That's the thing I be talking to them about a lot. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, I'm a balanced educator, but in the same token, when I get stern, I also follow it up with kindness, because at the end of the day, I want them to understand, like, look, I'm not trying to say I'm not relatable to you, or there's a difference because I'm educator and you're a child and student. Yeah. But I need you to understand, when you get outside this building, there's not going to be a Mr. Tyson. You know what I'm saying? There's not going to be somebody to want to take a patience of what you feeling or what your emotions are. I'm like, yo, and the one slogan I always tell my students, you know what I'm saying? Yo, separate your mind from your heart. You know what I'm saying? Like,
they never agree. Your heart and mind never agree.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Agrees. Go into the situation with your mind first. I get it. Logic, at the moment, do your best you can to go in with